Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Deratailor. So today's video I'm going to be showing you how to make a tailor's hem. So basically a tailor's hem is just something that you place your corset cup on and you use it to iron. So this actually usually gives it a very perfect shape. You can see how perfect her corset cup came out. So let's just get right into this video. To make this hem, you need your main fabric, your lining, and a lot of pieces that you are not using, and then you also need your tape, your scissors, and of course your chalk for measurements. So I do have my main fabric. You could just use any fabric of your choice. I folded it into two. I then went ahead and turned it to the other side, and I also folded it again into two. So you could just see what I did. So I will just repeat it so that you understand. I folded it into two, just so you can see that's the wrong side. I then went ahead to fold it into two again. So what I'm just going to do over here is that I'm going to use my tape to measure how wide I want my circle to be. So I'm using 5 inches here, but then please note this: after using 5 inches I realized that my ball was way too big, so I advise that you use 3 inches. So it's nothing much, just use 3 inches instead of 5. So you could see what I formed here. I formed a curved shape, and then using my scissors I'm just going to go ahead to cut my excesses out. So this is what it's looking like after I was done cutting it. So you could see, but I'm just going to repeat it just for better clarification of it. So let's assume that we are using 4 inches. What I did was I just placed it at my center point, and then I just went around marking 4 inches all around. So basically this process is just how you're going to be cutting your peplum flay, how you fold it to cut your peplum flay or your normal flay. So that's just what I did over here. So that's just it. So I'm just going to go ahead to trim over this side just to give it a round shape, and then after I was done I'm going to open it up. So you could see what it gave me. It gave me like a full circle, and then I do have my lining here that I'm going to be using to cover it up. I then went ahead to place my main fabric on it, and I'm just going to use it to cut out my lining following the pattern of my circle. So I'm just going to use my scissors to cut all this out. So after I was done cutting out my lining, so from the end point I just came up by 1 inches all around. So I'm just going up by 1 inches all around, and the reason why I'm doing this is the area that I am going to be sewing. So this part is not actually necessary if you can just use your free hand to know where you are going to sew, but I'm just doing this for the sake of those that are not able to know how to use your machine to form a perfect circle. So all you just have to do is to use your tape and go all around by 1 inches or half an inch. Sorry, it depends on how we want it. So I'm just using it to form a perfect circle. After doing this, I'm just going to be using my machine to stitch over the areas that I chopped down. So after I was done stitching, this is what it's looking like. I used a maroon thread so that you can see, and then I did not stitch all around. I left a space. You could see what I did. So I left about 1.5 inch opened because I'm going to be using it to turn it over. So do not stitch everything. Of course you are going to turn it over, so I just left about 1.5 inch open. So after that, what I just did was to trim out my excesses. So you could see the areas that I am trimming out. Those parts are the parts that I am not needing. Just like I said guys, except you want your ball to be bigger, that's your ham to be bigger, but I advise to use 3 inches while you are drafting it out. So if you want it to be bigger than that, then 4 inches is fine. So after doing this, you could see what I'm doing. I'm just literally cutting everything out, and then the next thing I'm just going to do is the area that I did not stitch, I'm going to be using it to turn it over to the right side. So that's just what I'm doing. I'm going to turn it over to the right side. So guys, I'm almost done turning it, and this is what it's looking like. I did not see any need to iron it, but you can still iron it if you want to. So this is what it's looking like after I was done bringing it to the right side. So you could see what we formed over here. This is a circle. So now is the time we are going to be using our pieces. If you do not have a pieces, you can use foams, right? Foams would also bring out the same result. So it's just optional. You can see the way I'm stuffing my pieces inside my ham. So that's just what you are going to do. You need lots and lots of pieces for this project that you are doing. And after doing this, I realized that the pieces that I had was not enough, so I had to get more. And you are just going to stuff it to the brim. You make sure that you stuff it till everywhere is filled up, till there is no space in the ham. So I just added in a lot of pieces. So you guys, if at this point you are watching this video and you've subscribed to my channel, thank you so much for supporting this channel by subscribing. And if you've not yet subscribed, please do so by liking and also subscribing to my channel. And also on the comment section, tell me if this was helpful. So I'm almost done filling this ham to the brim, and you can see here I had to reduce mine. Just as I said, I used 3 inches, so that's why the ham is looking small. So I'm just using my hand to kind of like shape it, if that's something. So that's just what I'm doing. So using my needle and thread over here, I'm going to be using it to seal the areas that I left open, right? The areas that we used to stuff our pieces into the ham. So you are going to need to seal that. So you could use your needle and thread to do like that, to do so. Sorry, so just watch what I'm doing, how I'm just stacking it. So guys, I'm already done stitching it with my needle. I'm just going to go ahead to use my scissors to cut the excess thread. And here we do have it. We now have our tailor's ham. So how easy is this tailor's ham? It's very easy to make, I'm sure of that. Very easy to make. Something else I use my tailor's ham to do is I use it to safeguard my needles. So I just usually just put my needles, insert my needles on it, and this way I'm sure that I won't get injured sometimes when I'm looking for needles, and I don't have to always look for my needles. So this, guys, is the end of the video. Thank you so much.